welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me. So in today's video we are going to be watching more TikTok. We are going to be reacting to more TikTok videos, but in today's video we are going to be watching homeless people. Now there's a lot of homeless people out there, like I'm telling you, a lot. Now we have to keep in mind, like, not every homeless person is a drug addict or an alcoholic. In fact, a lot of these people that are homeless are actually good citizens who had education and who had a job, but unfortunately they didn't have a good support system, therefore they ended up on the streets.
In this tent lives 77-year-old Judy Howe with her 80-year-old partner George, a situation she never imagined to be in. She says they had an apartment in Halifax before the building was sold and to be torn down. After that, they went to Ontario to be with George's dying mother, but they couldn't afford to stay there and chose to return to Halifax.
It's not home. You know, it's not a place you can cook a meal for yourself. You can take a shower. We go up to the Y on Park Street here. I always get lost. I'm trying to find my way out. And that's where we shower at. And you can go there every day if you want, you know. And thank God they have that service. But it's not where I want to be. I go to bed crying at night. At night I go to bed crying and I pray to God, asking Him to get me out of here. I need to be out of here.
With the couple's deteriorating health, a volunteer street navigator is desperate to get them into affordable housing.
Judy is the age that my mom would be if she was still alive. And it breaks my heart to see that people who have been born and raised in Canada and Nova Scotia are now having to face this.
I have definitely noticed, like, a lot of the elderly people are the ones being homeless the most. I've definitely noticed that in the past couple of years, which means that they don't really have a support system. Maybe they don't have a family that they can take care of them. And that's actually really, really sad, because as you grow older, you don't have the strength that someone in their 20s or in their 30s are. Like, as you go older, you have a lot of health issues and you don't have the strength to keep working. Like, at that age you should be retiring, but unfortunately a lot of people, a lot of the elderly population cannot even retire in today's economy because everything is so expensive. Pension won't even cover half of your bills. Actually, pension is pretty much not existent anymore. Like, it is really hard to find a job nowadays that offer pensions or even benefits. Like, there's so many jobs out there that don't even offer for benefits. Like, people are seriously struggling.
A home sweet home.
For more than 2 months, 76-year-old David Turner says he's been living, eating, and sleeping in his car.
The expense of everything is just crazy.
On good days, he drives to the Charlottetown Marina to greet tourists.
Welcome to PEI, sir.
Turner says his debt mounted, and after a couple months behind on rent, his landlord evicted him. Still, he feels more fortunate than others because he has a pension. It helps, but not enough to rent right now.
Seniors are struggling because of the cost of living, the cost of rent, the lack of affordable housing.
Seniors 65 and older made up nearly 5% of users at emergency shelters like this one behind me last year. That's up from 3.3% in 2000.
Did you know that 1 in 5 people living in the Atlantic in Canada have poverty-level living standards? And it's higher than any other region in Canada. Of course, nobody wants this for anyone in Canada, and it shouldn't exist in our country. Why is it that Canada could spend $1.1 billion housing asylum seekers in our country, and then set aside another $1.1 billion in the 2024 budget for more housing for asylum seekers? It would put them up in hotel rooms, facilities where they house asylum seekers with mental health services on site. At what point is enough and we start taking care of our own? This is a gentleman who's worked his whole life, paid taxes his whole life, and is now out on the street. But yet we have enough funding to house people who have never paid a single dollar in tax in our country. Someone please make that make sense. It's insane.
I've even heard people using hotels room and using that as like a rental apartment. Like if you were renting an apartment, they're just doing the same but for in a hotel. Why? Because they got free Wi-Fi, they got a kitchen. Well, most hotels, they do have breakfast included, so they're using that option because it's cheaper than renting a normal apartment. People sleeping on their cars, and then you cannot park everywhere, you know. Like if you park in certain areas, you're most likely going to get a ticket. That's a lot of stress. You have to be moving around, driving around, trying to find a parking spot so you can sleeping. How do you bathe? How do you brush your teeth? How do you eat? No, that's a really uncomfortable life. Like you don't want to, like as you grow older, you want to have an easier life. And it seems that it's going the opposite. As you grow older, and if you don't have enough savings, which is impossible to save, you're pretty much going to have a pretty terrible life. On top of that, with your health issues and possibly not having a family to support you. Okay, I just found one more video that I want to watch too.
I came here originally just myself with just a shopping cart and a tarp that I had found in the garbage bin. Then I found a tent in the garbage bin as well. I had really lost my way of my path, I guess, and I'm now here with a few friends and my street family. We don't choose to live in tents. The government forces us to. Because how else are we going to shelter ourselves from the natural elements of nature?
I haven't met with the organizers of the the original camp. Who I have met with are some of the outreach workers that are out there visiting with the folks. As you know, housing and health and mental health, addictions, social services, CIS, all of that belongs with the provincial government. And so working really hard to provide a level of dignity and relationship.
She needs to come down from that pretty little office of hers and come and communicate with us. Come and get to know her people, as she calls us.
So like she said, they don't choose to live in tents. Unfortunately, circumstances just led them to be that way. And it's really sad. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for watching today's video. I will be posting more videos like this. Please give it a thumbs up if you like this type of content of me reacting to today's economy and the situation that we are all living in today's society. Anyways, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.